The building of the Skye Bridge brought enormous controversy to this well-known island. Even before the notorious road tolls were introduced, many people believed the bridge to be a threat to the local environment. Others worried that Skye was being robbed of its status as a true island, and that the romantic notion of over the sea to Skye was a thing of the past. To the south is the Slate Peninsula, which is a thriving community. Much of the region's activity centres around Salmo Rostic, the only college in the world offering degree courses taught through the medium of Gaelic. There can surely be no other college campus on earth surrounded by such breathtaking natural beauty. This is Armadale, the gateway to Skye for passengers making the ferry crossing from the mainland port of Malek. This stunning area is known as the Garden of Skye, you can see why, or Clandonald's Land. Armadale Castle is surrounded by tree and plant species from all over the world and is home to one of Skye's leading tourist and study facilities, the Clandonald Centre. The views in the south of Slate are quite remarkable, but the same could be said as we move north of Armadale to Loch Glen. The village of Tarskavik was founded by families who were cleared from the MacDonald estate in the early 19th century. The name of this next island, Soay, comes from the ancient Nordic language and means Isle of Sheep. Other than during the Highland clearances of the mid-19th century, the population of Soay has always been very small. Most of the islanders left around 50 years ago. The remaining few live around the village of Mollclach. Soay was the property of the MacLeods of Dunvegan until it was sold to the writer Gavin Maxwell at the end of the Second World War. Maxwell set up a shark fishery and a shark oil processing plant beside the harbour here. An odd pursuit for a naturalist, one might think. And indeed, the venture was short-lived. Across the sound from Soay, the Cuillin Ridge, one of Europe's most dramatic landscapes. There are rock formations here of a type only found in the Isle of Skye. Sgúr Alistair, Skye's highest peak. Sgúr Scumming. The rock is extremely rugged and easy to grasp. This makes it an ideal challenge for serious climbers. It's multicoloured, from light brown hues to deep reds. When it's wet, which in the west of Scotland of course is a regular occurrence, it appears to turn black. With such majesty and natural beauty all around, it's little wonder that Skye folk are proud to have it all, as they say, which is why in turn other islanders remind them that they have no decent beaches. And there's only one distillery, which is where we're headed now. Talisker single malt whisky is produced in Carbust on the shores of Loch Harport. The distillery was founded in 1830. Loch Brachgadil and Loch Durinish. At the mouth of the loch is Idrigal Point, where the shoreline is cliff-strewn, and where the high stacks known as MacLeod's Maidens are to be found. A most dramatic sight they make, like Victorian statues standing in the sea. They were named after a mother and two daughters, the family of an ancient clan chief who perished in the area. The furthest point west on Skye. The lighthouse here was built 100 years ago. To Dunvegan we came, very willing to be at rest, and found our fatigues amply recompensed by our reception. So wrote Dr. Samuel Johnson during his well-documented visit to Skye with James Boswell in the 18th century. Dunvegan Castle has been the seat of the Clan MacLeod since the early 13th century. The castle was also the base of the renowned MacCrimmons, hereditary pipers to the Clan MacLeod. Their legacy lives on in the form of a world-famous annual piping competition. Given the shape of the island, it's not surprising that nowhere in Skye is more than 5 miles from the sea. Certainly, each region has its own unique landscape. Staffin is an excellent example. The pinnacles of the Kerrang certainly appeal on a bright summer's day. At any other time, it's an atmospheric place, and perhaps even a little daunting. Awesome rock formations abound, a legacy of the volcanic activity that gave us Skye all those millions of years ago. The landscape altered again during the Ice Age. This has to be one of the most unusual landscapes in Britain, a land where dinosaurs roamed. Indeed, footprints were uncovered recently in Staffin supporting such a theory. Near the southern tip of Trotternish is the famous rock needle known as the Old Man of Storr. It's 160 feet high and was first climbed in 1955. Other successful attempts have been made since, though I'd say it's not for the faint-hearted. Portree is an attractive little town, the island's capital, and established as a fishing port in the 18th century. The harbour is often likened to Tobermory in Mull, though it won't be half as familiar to younger television viewers. In the shadow of the Isle of Skye, and still in the parish of Portree, is the island of Raasay. Its history is pretty colourful too. Brochel Castle is thought to have been built by the MacSweens in the 15th century and later became the stronghold of the Clan MacLeod. The MacLeods added to it over the centuries. Ian Garav, John MacLeod of Raasay, was the last in the line to live there. His drowning is recalled in a well-known Gaelic lament. The views from the summit of Dunvegan are outstanding. It might be said to resemble a Japanese mountain landscape. Raasay was the birthplace of the celebrated 20th century poet Sorley MacLean, and Dunvegan features in his masterpiece, Halleck. Inverarish is Raasay's principal township. It was founded during World War I to provide accommodation for those working in the island's iron mines. Among them were over 250 German prisoners of war. The iron company William Baird & Co. of Coatbridge bought the Raasay estate in 1911 in order to exploit the iron ore found there. Before preparatory work could be completed, however, war was declared, and of the 36 local men called up, many were lost. Despite repeated efforts to restart the mining works, in the end, the scheme failed. But many of the buildings related to it remain, as does the purpose-built jetty. Raasay House is on the site of the old Clan MacLeod residence. Its appearance has changed many times over the years. Today, it plays host to tourists from the world over, all enjoying the marvellous landscape on offer here.